Hello, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, but always and most accurate rising sign. The month of July 2023 has in store for you some significant developments in your long-term financial outcomes as the sky opens up quarters of change in your money story. At the same time, you have some positive and interesting developments occurring in love, romance, or in relationship to children and creativity. You may even experience this as a month in which greater commitment can happen in an existing relationship as well. So let's talk about the beginning of the month and move through things in sequential order. But before we do, if you're new to my channel, my name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the whole sign house system and the Western Tropical Zodiac. I also am somebody who loves the minor asteroids. And if you subscribe to that like button and subscribe, you'll get a lot of content during the rest of the month in which I talk about how these little asteroids are the devil is in the details. Now, there's a big promotion going on in the month of July. It starts on June 21st. It closes down on August 1st. And that is if you sign up for my Cosmic Moonshine Swig of Weekly Astrology News Forecast newsletter, you're going to get access for free. Value is $47 to 12 videos times 60 minutes content. That's all signs. You can listen for your sun, moon, and rising forecast material for 2023. So basically, yes, 6 months have gone by, but there's still 6 months ahead. And you can tune in to find out how those 6 months are going to play out for your rising sign, your sun sign, or your moon sign. And all you have to do is sign up for my newsletter. And it's my big yearly drive to increase my subscriptions to my newsletter. And this is your time to jump in and get that content for free. After August 1st, it goes back to a paid product. All right, so let's get rolling and talk about the sky for the Capricorns. Let's make some big stories first. I'm talking in the beginning of every video about the nodal square to Pluto that happens to be quite acute or intense during the time frame of July the 18th to basically the middle of August and end of August even. Now, this is something that's influencing the world at large. We haven't seen since 1764. So this is a pretty rare sky. And that's because the North Node, South Node moves into a new part of the sky called the Aries Libra axis on July 18th. Hasn't happened since back in 2005 and 6, and now it's back again. But this time around, it's making a square to Pluto, now retrograde at 29 degrees of Capricorn. This is called Pluto at the bending of the nodes of fate. Well, it will involve big world events. You will feel this tension in your sky individually as well. So the kind of tension as a Capricorn that you're experiencing is very important because Capricorn, you are where Pluto has been traveling since 2008, transforming your very sense of identity, your life, your work, your career, your relationships. It has been one hell of a ride, I bet. And a lot of you Cappies tell me how intense that 2008 journey has been. This is finishing for you finally next September of 24 through to January. That's the last time this little Capricorn area of your sky gets lit up, and then it's gone for the rest of your life. In the meantime, Capricorn sun is back, retrograding at 29 degrees. We'll be in Capricorn till next January. And at this juncture in mid-July to mid-August, the intensity will feel very acute. Then that means very intense and very precipitous, perhaps. It's kind of like a finishing touch on something you've been working on since 2008, or the sky has been working on you and over you, working you over, to really bring you into contact with what true power means for you. Power as it applies to your own sense of you being the wielder of that power, potency, and the potential for tremendous self in reinvention and transformation. Because the nodes of fate, though, are in the angular houses for you of 4 and 10, a lot of this will propel you to begin the contemplation of how your identity is going to be transformed in a relationship to home, homeland, property, land, real estate, family of origin, and mother, and career, purpose, and visible reputation, the 10th and 4th house aspect. Some of you are retiring, leaving behind, or completely moving away from some way of being career bound or career oriented in the world over the next couple of years. And this is a turning point of great importance, mid-July to mid-August. And it may even change your home and where you live in a very profound and significant way. And it lasts really until the end of August. So keep your eyes on the ball and see how you feel in this last performance art of your life as you finish up this longer Pluto narrative. Now we're going to go month by month, a detailed chronological through the month. If I'm talking too fast, I always encourage you to please consider just slowing the speed down on the playback speed on YouTube. And if you haven't yet liked my channel or subscribed, would you consider doing so? It really does help this channel grow and supports me to make this a profession as an astrologer. A viable profession. Okay, so let's start off with the beginning of the month. There is a Mercury in the heart of the sun, July 1st and 2nd, that's very benevolent and involves the ruler of your sign, because Capricorn is the ruler, Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. Now, what is going on anytime Mercury comes into the heart of the sun, which is 6 times a year on average, is there's kind of a pivotal download, a divine intervention, a moment of synchronicity of great importance. July 1st and 2nd, this is happening at 9 degrees of Cancer, where the sun and Mercury become one. This is your marriage house. This is your significant other house. This is a very important place in your sky. And you'll be having Juno, the goddess of contractual agreements, vows, and commitment, moving through here at the same time. Now, she's just as capable of bringing divorce and separation as she is bringing union. So knowing that cazimi is happening, especially if your Capricorn ascendant is anywhere between in the first 20 degrees of Capricorn, 0 to 20, you're really going to feel a critical pivotal moment of incisive clarity about a significant love or business partnership relationship, or potentially client relationship that could turn a corner for you in a positive way. There's a trine to Saturn at the same time from this Mercury Sun cazimi in your 3rd house of journeys, trips, travels, siblings, and the online world, and a sextile from the cazimi to Jupiter. Jupiter is in your 5th house of romantic love, children, and independent business enterprise. A lot of this 3-5 energy can be also about traveling with a lover or a beloved partner, and a critical turning point occurring around July 1st and July 2nd. It is mostly flowing, but Jupiter brings blessed endings as well as opportunities, right? So in that case, we don't know what that is, because Juno is also the god of divorce. So some of you might be having a critical ending, and some of you a critical new beginning in existing relationships. This also can be developments with any of your children, grown or not. In that case, also quite positive for the most part. Anything to do with legal contracts can be the 5th house, an aha, download, or insight around legal agreements and contracts July 1st and 2nd that pertain to children and romantic partners, entrepreneurial endeavors, and also maybe involving trips and travel opportunities as well as learning opportunities. Moving forward, Venus will square Uranus, and that's a tension angle, but it brings money and love change, basically, that may be somewhat unexpected. And you're going to feel that on July 2nd, 3rd, mostly, but you'll feel it again on August the 9th, and you'll feel it again on September 29th, give or take a few days on either side. This Venus shock and awe, Uranus unexpected energy is something that is 3 times because of a retrogradation of Venus in Leo. This Leo part of your sky where Venus is doing the action plan is the house of your chunky money, inheritance, shared resources, spousal support, alimony, bank loans, mortgages, credit card debts, inheritances. A lot is going on here. And so with that energy of that money part of your sky being highly active, the square is to Uranus co-present with Jupiter, bringing some luck and goodness in the house of romantic love, children, and independent entrepreneurial endeavors, including lottery wins. So maybe some lottery bonus money is coming through your sky. It's quite possible, Jupiter here through to next May, that winning money can happen for you, or stock takes off or something like that. But the square requires action, and it can feel tense in the moment. So some excitement for sure, but look to that around July 2nd and 3rd, and look for repeat performances in August 9th and September 29th timeframes. Moving forward, then, we can get to July 7th to the 10th. What goes on here is Mercury, the messenger, is in a flow called a sextile to the same shock and awe change god, Uranus. This 7th to the 10th of July involves at the same time Mercury opposite Pluto. In a nutshell, Mercury is in Cancer at the time, your 7th house of significant marriage partners, opposite Pluto in the house of you. This is intense energy that could be make or break in an existing love relationship or business relationship. And at the same time, there's a sextile to Uranus in the 5th house of children, the 5th house of romantic love, and the 5th house of entrepreneurial endeavors. Because you have Juno, the contract goddess here, it could be a sudden opportunity for a legal contract, a business contract, a creative project contract over something you've been working on, a writing project, a music project, but also it could be definitely some difficult communication, some really hard talk or conversation going on that brings a little bit of shock and awe, but ultimately something good is trying to happen here with that significant other in your life. It could even be a decision by that significant other to say, move away from the relationship, or you to move away from that relationship yourself, as an example. Same with business partnerships and business contracts. Now, around the time of July the 10th, 11th, right? We also have Mercury moving into Leo after being in Cancer. Leo for Mercury will move from Cancer, your seventh house of relationship, significant other, business partnerships, and legal contracts. And Mercury will move on the 11th to the 29th of July into your eighth house of that chunky money. This looks like legal contracts to do with a lot of things. You could be talking to your stockbroker. You could be refining tax agreements. You could be negotiating and buying and selling a stock, negotiating a mortgage, refinancing a property, especially with Venus here as well. And during that time, we'll be getting into the Venus story shortly. And so a lot of monetary energy is being focused in the sky for you, most definitely between the 11th and the 29th, even conversations with a significant business or love partner around shared resources being on the table big time from July the 11th to the 29th. Now, secrets belong to the eighth house. Venus is already here. The spilling of love secrets, forbidden love triangles, love infidelities, and communications or news about that could occur between July 11th and 29th for some of you Capricorn ascendants especially. Moving forward in time, we see that July the 18th to the pause the button. On July the 10th, Mars will move from Leo, where he was dancing with Venus in your house of chunky money, and he will move into the ninth house of foreign lands and travel. This is an ideal transit, of course, for foreign travel. Just be cautious, of course, especially during a gnarly window of time, July 18th to the 22nd, where Mars is opposite Saturn. Be careful while you travel for injuries or accidents, I just have to say. Saturn is a little of a grim reaper there, and 3-9 is a travel axis. So just be really careful. Don't do anything risky. Don't go bungee flying. Don't jump out of an airplane. Don't do, skydiving or anything like that. Okay, please. July 18th to the 22nd. But before that, Mars is starting on July 10th through that foreign lands and house shores travel. Now, separation from somebody from a foreign country, distance from them can happen if you're, say in a relationship with a foreigner. This could mean separation from that foreigner. Mars likes to separate. He also likes to take bold action. He will travel when he's in the ninth house. So some of you may be traveling. July 10th adds 6 weeks to foreign countries or through foreign lands. Also, with this separation potential of some sort on the 18th to the 22nd, that Mars opposite Saturn is like, let's hold the fort, let's go steady, let's take cautionary directionality around siblings, skills-based learning, online world, or journeys and travel. And then Mars is like fighting with Saturn. It's a little bit like the parking brake and the gas pedal going at once. So there can be conflict around travel plans or disruptions because maybe you're in conflict with a significant person about the way things should go. For example, the same Mars can cause difficulties in the house of courts and legal matters and challenges regarding your education, especially through campuses, colleges, and universities, or the process of securing a visa requiring a lawyer and a battle, because Athena, who's very lawyerly, will be up there as well on the 9th. If the book, up there as well with Mars starting around, the ingress of Mars into this part of your sky. July 9th, add 6 weeks. If you want to publish a book and that's something you're trying to do or thinking of that, Athena can bring contracts and agreements with publishers, but Mars means you're having to really negotiate and battle for what you want and hold steady about maybe not doing 100 rewrites because Saturn in the house of writing is saying, I'm being conservative, but there's a battle with somebody in the publishing house around that. That's another way that could look for some of you. And that again is July 10th, add 6 weeks with acute tension or difficult times, July 18th to the 22nd. Then moving onward again, July the 22nd to July the 25th. First of all, on July the 22nd, Venus begins to retrograde. and she'll be retrograde until September the 4th. This is a part of her 4-month travel through your chunky money health, June through October. This is very much a time of focus on the longer range, bigger stories of money. You know, that can be money from investments, money from the 401k, money through inheritances, etc. And as all this money focus is going on in your sky, you know, during those 4 months, we come into this retrograde period. Money from the past can come back to you. Money that's owed to you from, you know, inheritances can return to you. Money that came from an investment structure can renew itself, go in a new direction. You were losing money, now you're going to reverse direction. You'll be gaining some money here. So this is a good money time, perhaps. Venus retrograde on the 22nd to September 4th. Now, also, if you have had secret lovers in the past, Venus retrograding in the house of forbidden love could mean a secret lover comes back. You know, someone you had a hidden love affair with comes back out of the woodwork and wants to reconnect with you during that retrograde. Now, July 22nd to the 25th is a very specific piece of sky in which you could experience a interesting tension that has a happy ending on the 27th. That is going to be Mercury moving through Leo with Venus in the chunky money house, squaring shock and awe Uranus in your 5th house of romance, children, entrepreneurship, and creative projects. Where this shows up most likely is in people who are 5th house people, surprising you, a shock and surprise from a lover, a sudden development with a child that opens up some kind of corridor to some action needed and direction taken regarding your investments or your longer term treasure chests of money. But because Jupiter is very capable of winning lottery tickets, as I mentioned earlier, and he's in the 5th house of lottery wins, and Mercury, the god of games of chance, is hanging out in Leo during the month of July, this can be the actual winning of some lottery ticket, maybe through things to do with people who are involved in your business enterprise, independent business enterprise, romantic partners, or even a child wins the lottery and says, oh my God, I won the lottery, let me share it with you, or something like that. So that happy ending is going to be most acute or most precise on the 27th, 28th, when Mercury co-joins with Venus in the sky at 28 Leo. If you're a Capricorn sun, moon, or rising, anywhere from 25 to 29 Leo, this is a really, really interesting time where there's some kind of big financial change that's really surprising or really sudden or really exhilarating, but mostly positive because Venus and Jupiter are benefics and they're holding fort in the square that's being created in the sky. So of all signs, you could win some money or come into unexpected money that's quite exciting at the very end of the month of July. I hope you enjoyed that, Capricorn, and that you can make use of this content to navigate your life better. Don't forget to sign up for Cosmic Noon. Try and get 12 videos times 60 minutes for free instead of $47. That is going to be a bundle for you to get a really great deal on all signs, and you can listen for your sun sign, moon sign, and rising sign. All you have to do is sign up for my newsletter. As soon as you sign up, you get a little inbox welcome letter with the access to the free content. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. And I have to sign off, so give me a sec. Yay.